OpenAI's latest breakthrough introduces ChatGPT Agent, a unified AI assistant that seamlessly combines research, web navigation, coding, and creative tools to autonomously handle complex, multi-step tasks. But before we kick things off, did you know 60% of you listening aren't following us? Come on, guys, hit that follow button and collect our episodes on pods.media to support the show. Your support matters. Thanks, mates. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into this truly groundbreaking development from OpenAI. Our mission, to unpack what exactly this ChatGPT agent is, why it matters so profoundly, and perhaps most importantly, what it means for you, our listener, as we navigate the evolving landscape of work and daily tasks. The central idea we'll be exploring is this concept of a unified AI assistant and its radical potential to transform how even the most complex, multifaceted tasks are not just approached, but fully completed.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I think groundbreaking is the right word here. What we're seeing with ChatGPT Agent, it's really more than just another update. It feels like a genuine leap forward. Yeah. We're moving, pretty decisively beyond AI tools that just do one thing in isolation.
Like a calculator app or an image generator, that kind of thing.
Precisely. Those single-purpose tools. Now we're stepping into an era of, integrated autonomous problem solving, all happening within one single place.
Okay.
So yeah, throughout our chat today, we'll really peel back the layers. We'll look at its capabilities, the impact it could have, the challenges too. We definitely need to talk about those.
Absolutely.
And, maybe gaze into the crystal ball a bit about where this is all headed. It's a big topic.
It really sounds like it. Okay, let's unpack this right from the beginning then. We've heard about AI assistants for a while now, sure. Simple chatbots, tools that write code snippets, generate images. So what exactly is ChatGPT Agent? What makes it such a distinct breakthrough in what feels like a pretty crowded field already?
That's a perfect place to start. And distinct breakthrough is, I think, spot on. At its heart, ChatGPT Agent is what OpenAI calls a unified AI agent.
Unified AI agent, okay.
Yeah, and think of it less like just a bunch of separate tools bolted together. It's more like a single, really sophisticated cross-functional product. It basically consolidates all those previous AI capabilities, the research, the coding, the browsing, into one cohesive unit.
So it's not just a dashboard with different buttons for different AI.
Exactly not. It's designed as an integrated virtual workspace. That's the key. It intelligently merges all these functions: research, browsing, code execution, automation, creative generation, all under one roof, designed to work together seamlessly.
Seamlessly is doing a lot of work there. So it's not just that the tools are there, but they actually cooperate. Like the AI itself knows, okay, I need to research this first, then I need to run some code on it, then I need to write a summary. It figures that out.
You've nailed the critical difference right there. That inherent understanding, that ability to transition smoothly, that's what lets it autonomously handle complex, multi-step real-world tasks. Right. This isn't just about making it slightly easier for the user. It fundamentally changes how you interact with it. It means the AI isn't just sitting there waiting for your next specific command for every tiny step. Instead, you can give it a bigger goal, a complex project, a problem you need solved.
Yeah.
And the agent is designed to break that down itself, figure out the steps, and then execute them.
Wow.
Yeah. So, for instance, if a task needs it to find info online, then analyze that info using, say, Python code, and then write a report based on the results. The agent can just switch between those environments, the browser, the code terminal, maybe an API all on its own.
Without me having to tell it, okay, now open the code window.
Exactly. No constant prompting for each transition, no copying and pasting data between different apps. It manages that flow. That's a massive leap from older models where, they could maybe do the individual tasks, but you had to be the conductor orchestrating the whole thing.
That level of autonomy, it sounds incredibly powerful, almost like, delegating a whole project to a really competent assistant. But does that mean you just set it running and walk away? Or is there still a human role here?
That's a super important question, and it gets to the core design philosophy. It is highly autonomous, yes, but it's built for collaboration. The system lets users direct, interrupt, or clarify as needed. So you're definitely not just a passive bystander. You're still in control.
Right, you're the manager, maybe.
Sort of, yeah. You set the overall direction, the main goals, but then you can jump in if you see it going slightly off track, or if it hits a weird problem they didn't expect, or maybe the task is just really tricky and it needs a bit more specific guidance from you.
Okay.
Think of it like a dynamic partnership. The AI does the heavy lifting, manages the details, but you provide the strategic oversight, and crucially, you can steer it or correct course whenever needed.
That makes a lot more sense. So, digging a bit deeper then, what truly makes this go beyond previous capabilities? Because, like we said, we've had tools for research, for coding, for writing. What's the real jump here with this integration?
The jump is absolutely in the seamlessness of that integration and its power to manage whole workflows end to end without needing you to manually connect the dots between steps.
Right.
Think about how it used to work. You might use one AI to brainstorm ideas, right?
Mhm.
Then you copy that text, paste it into another AI tool to maybe draft something longer.
Yeah, I've definitely done that, Dan.
Exactly. And then maybe you take that draft and put it into another app to add data or polish it. It's this fragmented process. You, the user, are constantly acting as the human glue,
Yeah.
transferring information, switching context.
And losing focus every time you switch.
Totally. It adds friction. It eats up mental energy.
Yeah.
ChatGPT Agent is designed specifically to eliminate that. It focuses on that smooth transition between all the different parts of a task within one continuous workflow.
So, give me an example. How would that look?
Okay, imagine telling the agent, research the current market trends for sustainable packaging in Europe. Use that data to build a basic financial projection model for a new product line, and then generate a short presentation summarizing the key findings and the projection.
And it would just do all of
That's the goal. It would handle the web research, potentially run some code for the modeling, and then structure the presentation, all within the same interaction, without you needing to manually shuttle data between different tools or tabs. That unified, continuous flow, powered by its autonomy, that's the core breakthrough.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting for me. We've covered the what. Now, the why. Why is this more than just, another fancy tech update? Why is it a step change in how we might actually approach work, maybe even just our daily to-do list? It feels like more than just speed.
Oh, absolutely. So what factor here is massive, and it goes way beyond just doing individual things faster. First off, let's talk about this all-in-one automation idea.
Yeah.
The biggest thing here is how it promises to basically eliminate fragmentation in our digital work.
Let's get rid of all the jumping between apps.
Exactly. As we've sort of established, the agent moves smoothly between really different kinds of tasks: research, writing, navigating websites, processing data. The huge, maybe even understated benefit is you're no longer caught in that constant cycle of juggling fragmented tools.
Yeah, the context switching. It's exhausting.
It really is. Anyone who works on a computer all day knows it's a silent productivity killer. Every app switch, every copy paste, there's a tiny cognitive cost, right? A little bit of focus lost, you have to reorient yourself. And that adds up massively over a day. This agent, by adapting to what you need within one continuous workflow, keeps everything together. It doesn't just do tasks, it orchestrates the whole process. It anticipates, okay, I've found the data, now I likely need to analyze it, or now I should probably draft an email with these results. It's much more holistic.
So it's like having that super efficient assistant who actually understands the entire project, not just the one task you gave them 5 minutes ago. That alone, it sounds like it could be huge for complex work.
Precisely. And that leads right into the second big point. Collaboration reimagined. Think about most AI interactions up to now. They've been pretty transactional, haven't they?
Yeah, like it's a question, get an answer, done. Next question, start again.
Right. Often stateless. You have to keep feeding it context. ChatGPT Agent is built differently. It's designed to handle prolonged, multi-turn workflows. This means it can actually maintain context and memory over an entire project, even if that project takes hours or days or involves you dipping in and out over time.
Hold on, so it remembers what we were working on yesterday or an hour ago.
That's the core capability, yes. It has the capacity for supporting clarifications, user interventions, and real-time updates even during complex tasks. What that means practically is a much more dynamic, ongoing partnership.
Okay.
So if you're halfway through a big project and you realize you need to tweak something or new information comes up that changes things, the agent can ideally integrate that new input and adjust its work instead of you having to start over or break everything down again.
Wow.
It's more like a continuous conversation, an evolving execution towards your goal where the AI remembers the history and builds on it.
That persistence, maintaining context over time, that's genuinely massive. It shifts the AI from being just a tool you pick up and put down to more like a project partner. So, okay, tangible impact, time savings. Are we talking saving a few minutes here and there or something bigger? Is this the step change in productivity people talk about?
I think this is where it gets really exciting for individuals and for businesses. By combining that sophisticated reasoning with broad tool access, the potential for time savings is genuinely significant. We're not just talking about shaving off 5 or 10 minutes. We're potentially talking about fully automating tasks that right now used to take hours of manual fragmented work.
Like what kinds of tasks?
Okay, think about deep research for a big report pulling from multiple sources, synthesizing info, or booking complex international travel flights, hotels, transfers, dealing with different currencies.
Oh yeah, that can take forever.
Right. Or maybe managing lots of different orders across various websites, or even building a detailed, polished presentation from scratch, maybe pulling in live data. These are all things that eat up huge amounts of time. The agent aims to streamline or even fully handle these within one workflow. And for you, the listener, what does that mean? It means potentially freeing up a massive chunk of your most valuable asset, your time.
Right.
Imagine delegating those repetitive, sometimes honestly soul-crushing operational tasks. It lets you redirect your focus, your creativity, your strategic thinking to the stuff that really needs a human brain innovation, complex decisions, relationship building. It fundamentally shifts where you spend your effort.
That is the dream for so many people, isn't it? Offload the grunt work, focus on the meaningful stuff. But, okay, here comes the big but. With all this power, this autonomy, this access to browsers and terminals, security and privacy have to be huge concerns, right? How is OpenAI tackling that?
That's absolutely critical, and it's clearly something OpenAI has put a lot of thought into. They're framing it as security consciousness. Because you're right, when you give an AI more autonomy and more access to the web, to code execution, you inevitably create new potential risks, new attack surfaces.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So OpenAI says they've built in safety protocols and transparent user warnings from the start. It's not an afterthought. They're trying to be proactive about it, acknowledging that as these agents get more capable, they bring evolving digital risks.
Like what kind of risks?
Well, we mentioned prompt injection earlier as a general AI risk. With an agent that can act, browse, code, use APIs, a successful injection could theoretically be much more damaging than just making a chatbot say weird things.
Right. It could potentially do harmful things.
Potentially, yes. That's the concern. So the guardrails, the user confirmations for certain actions, the transparency about what it's doing, these are all designed to mitigate those risks. Building a system that's powerful, yes, but also secure and transparent enough that users can actually trust it. It's a balancing act.
Okay, so safety is built in, but user awareness is still key. Let's make this really concrete then. What does this all mean for you listening right now? Let's talk specific applications. How could ChatGPT Agent actually be used for real-world stuff, from maybe managing your own schedule up to running parts of a business?
Great idea. Visualizing it in action is the best way to get it. Let's start with something complex but relatable. Comprehensive event planning.
Okay, like a big conference or a wedding.
Exactly. Imagine planning a major corporate summit or, a big destination wedding. This agent could potentially manage the entire life cycle. So, step one, research venues and weather in different cities or countries. You can compare capacity, availability, logistics. Then, without you manually intervening, it could shift to booking hotels for everyone attending, maybe handling group rates, sending confirmations. It could even handle things like buying gifts for speakers or guests, finding things that fit the theme or budget, managing the ordering and delivery.
Wow, okay.
And it's not just executing single steps. Its ability to plan and summarize entire projects means it gets the big picture. It could coordinate finding locations, checking travel rules, comparing vendor prices, ordering custom merchandise, all these separate threads managed within one workflow. Think of the sheer hours of coordination and back and forth that usually involves.
Yeah, that's potentially days of work saved for an event planner. It takes all those different websites, spreadsheets, email chains, and just handles it.
That's the potential, yeah. Consolidating that chaos into one managed process.
Yeah.
Now, what about internal teams?
Right, beyond just events, how could, say, a marketing team use this?
This is where team asset management comes in. It's great for automating those internal processes that can become real administrative headaches. For a marketing or maybe HR team, imagine the agent handling the automate generation, customization, and bulk ordering of swag or marketing assets.
Like t-shirts and mugs.
Exactly. Say you need 500 company t-shirts for an event, maybe with slightly different logos for different departments, and they need shipping to 3 different countries.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Right. The agent could potentially generate design ideas based on your brand guidelines, take feedback, customize them, maybe even manage internal approvals, and then place the orders with different suppliers, tracking everything until it arrives. It frees the team from that logistical slog to focus on the actual campaign or employee engagement strategy.
That makes sense. Removing the operational friction. And for core business operations, what about the really high-level analytical stuff?
Here it gets really powerful. It can potentially prepare reports, analyze data, build financial models, create polished slide decks via code, and live data sourcing.
Okay, live data sourcing and code sound key there. It's not just summarizing a document someone else wrote.
Precisely. It's about integrating code execution for complex calculations or stats, and crucially, live data sourcing. That means it could potentially tap into your company's databases, real-time market feeds, other internal systems.
Oh.
So picture a business analyst tasking the agent. Pull the latest quarterly sales data from our ERP system, run a regression analysis against marketing spend, generate forecast models for the next 2 quarters, and put the key findings, charts, and predictions into a ready-to-go PowerPoint deck.
It just does that.
Autonomously. That's the promise. It could dramatically speed up the whole business intelligence cycle. Work that might take an analyst days or even weeks, potentially condensed into hours.
That's a genuine accelerator for any data-driven business. Okay, bring it back to the individual. For me, for you listening. What about personal productivity? How does it help with just, managing our lives?
This is where it could touch everyone. It's designed to streamline those recurring tasks that just eat up time, like travel deal finding, constantly scanning for the best flight, or hotel prices for places you go often, knowing your preferences.
That'd be nice.
Or research compiling for personal interests, hobbies, learning new things, gathering info from lots of places, organizing it, summarizing it, and of course, schedule management. Integrating calendars, sending reminders, spotting conflicts, maybe even optimizing your day based on traffic or meeting priorities.
Okay.
And the really significant thing here, especially for these recurring personal tasks, is the persistent agent memory.
It learns.
It learns your preferences over time. So if you always fly a certain airline or prefer aisle seats or have specific hotel chains you like, it remembers that. It doesn't just find deals. It finds the deals that are right for you. It becomes more personalized, more efficient, more tailored to your specific needs the more you use it.
That sounds incredibly useful. But, okay, we've painted a very rosy picture. Let's pivot back to the challenges. We touched on security, but with something this powerful, this autonomous, what are the really key areas where we need to be vigilant? Where does caution come in? Because nothing this new is perfect, right?
Absolutely not. And it's crucial we approach this with eyes wide open. So challenge number 1, let's revisit security and privacy. As we said, greater autonomy expands attack surfaces. That's just fundamental.
More capability means more ways things could go wrong.
Exactly. When an agent can browse, code, connect to APIs, there are just more doors and windows for potential bad actors. We mentioned prompt injection, sneaking malicious instructions into seemingly normal input. The risk is higher when the agent can actually do things in the digital world based on that input.
Right.
So while OpenAI has built-in guardrails, they also emphasize that safe use depends on user vigilance. It's a shared responsibility. Users need to understand the risks, be careful about the permissions they grant, the data they let it access, and just generally be aware of what the agent is doing.
So we can't just blindly trust it. We need to stay engaged and aware. What about the agent itself? Is it always going to get things right? Are there limits to what it can reliably do?
Definitely. That brings us to model limitations. Despite how advanced it is, the agent can still make mistakes. It can misunderstand instructions, especially if they're ambiguous, and it will absolutely require human intervention sometimes.
When things get tricky.
Exactly. Think about edge cases, situations it wasn't really trained on, or highly sensitive operations. You wouldn't want it making critical medical decisions or executing huge financial trades without human oversight. Right?
No, definitely not.
It reinforces that these are powerful tools to augment us, not infallible oracles to replace human judgment, critical thinking, or accountability. Knowing when to step in, when to double-check its work, or when to just do something yourself, that's going to be a key skill.
That makes complete sense. It's a partner, a powerful one, but still needs supervision. What about us, the users? Is this going to be easy to pick up, or is there a steep learning curve? It sounds like more than just learning a new app.
Well, for sure. There's definitely a learning curve. Users must adapt to new workflows. This isn't just about figuring out a new interface. It's potentially a whole new way of working.
How so?
You'll need to learn when or how to interact or take over during longer, multi-step tasks. When do you pause it? How do you give it clarification it understands? When is it better to just do a step manually? It requires a shift in mindset, understanding its strengths, its weaknesses, finding that collaborative rhythm. It's a practical adjustment, but also a psychological one.
Right, learning how to effectively delegate to and collaborate with an AI. And looking ahead, with AI evolving so fast, what about the security threats? Is this an ongoing battle?
It's absolutely an evolving threat landscape. It's naive to think we'll solve security once and be done. Just as defenses get better, attackers get more sophisticated, new ways to exploit AI agents will continue to emerge.
It's a constant race then.
Really is. And it demands ongoing defense strategies from both the developers, who need to constantly update and harden the systems, and from us users, who need to stay informed and practice good digital hygiene. It means security and ethical considerations have to evolve right alongside the capabilities. It's a continuous process.
Okay, so challenges acknowledged. Let's look forward again. Beyond the immediate hurdles, what does the future realistically hold for ChatGPT Agent? Where might this technology go next? It feels like we're really just seeing version 1.0 here.
Oh, absolutely. We're just at the starting line. One definite path is rapid feature expansion. We can absolutely expect continuous improvements, and a lot of that will be driven by user feedback, seeing how people actually use it in the real world.
Learning from how it performs, the good and the bad.
Exactly. Refining the automation and safety based on that real-world usage. So yeah, the current version is the foundation. Expect a steady flow of new features, better integrations, stronger safety measures as they learn more. It's that classic iterative tech development cycle, but likely on hyperdrive.
So it'll get smarter and safer over time. What about for businesses? You mentioned integrations. How deep could that go?
I think enterprise integration is going to be huge. We're likely to see deeper connections with third-party data sources, private APIs, and team productivity tools.
So connecting right into a company's internal systems.
Potentially, yes. Imagine an agent that can securely query your internal customer database, interact with your project management tool like Jira or Asana, maybe even draft communications within your company's Slack or Teams. That would massively broaden its business impact.
Right.
It moves the agent from being just an external helper using public data to being deeply embedded in organizational workflows, potentially handling sensitive, specialized tasks right within the company's own secure environment. That's a pretty profound shift.
That is a powerful vision. AI agents as part of the core business infrastructure. And on safety, can we expect them to get significantly better at handling those complex threats we discussed?
That's certainly the goal. The push is towards smarter, safer AI. We should expect real advancements in areas like adversarial attack mitigation, making them much harder to trick or misuse. Also, better context awareness, so they understand nuance and avoid mistakes in ambiguous situations. And really importantly for trust, ongoing improvement in user oversight, giving users clearer visibility and more fine-grained control over what the agent does. It's all about making them more powerful yet responsible, building that trust through both capability and transparency.
Finally, the interaction itself. Will it always feel like giving commands to software, or could it become, well, more natural, more like talking to a colleague?
That's the fascinating horizon, more human-like collaboration. The aim, I think, is for these agents to evolve to become even more proactive, conversational, and effective collaborators.
Active, like suggesting things.
Yeah, perhaps anticipating your needs based on the project context, asking clarifying questions before you even realize something is ambiguous, offering insights or options you hadn't considered, moving beyond just following instructions to becoming a more active participant in the thought process. The idea is to make the interaction feel less like commanding a tool and more like a natural, ongoing conversation with an intelligent partner who really understands the flow of work, blurring that line, making the collaboration feel more intuitive, more seamless.
So, wrapping it up. Our take, we're definitely bullish on this, but with some necessary caution. OpenAI's unified agent. It's a huge milestone, no doubt about it. A real landmark in AI productivity and automation. It's fusion browsing, coding, file management, native stuff, all integrated. It really does unlock new ways for people, for teams, to get complex, meaningful work done much, much faster.
But, and it's a big but, as with any major breakthrough, more capability brings more risk. It just does. Increased power demands, increased responsibility, more vigilance, more thoughtful application from everyone involved. It's exciting, yes, but we need to proceed thoughtfully.
Absolutely. And that leads to a final thought for you, our listener. As these unified AI agents like ChatGPT Agent get better and better at handling these complex multi-step tasks all on their own, think about how that might fundamentally change the nature of human work itself. What new skills suddenly become really valuable? What new kinds of roles might even emerge when so many operational tasks get automated away? And maybe most importantly, how can you best prepare yourself right now to not just cope, but actually thrive by collaborating effectively with these increasingly capable AI partners? It's a big question, definitely something worth pondering as we all step further into this AI-driven future. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive today.